Los Angeles Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, you would not have been able to guess this one when the season started. The Chiefs are 14.5-point favorites. At PointsBet, it is clicked to 15. So 15-point favorites for the Kansas City Chiefs over the defending Super Bowl champions in a game with a total of 43. They are 14.5-point favorites in a game with a total of 43. Adam, in years past, I keep saying this would be an auto play on the Rams, no matter how terrible the Rams are. It is more than 2 touchdowns in a game with a total of 43. That being said, Matthew Stafford back in the concussion protocol. It's the second time over this season he's been in there. So we don't know how this is going to play out. Again, this is all new concussion protocol rules. So we don't know what they're going to do with him. I assume he's not going to play. That is my assumption, that he's not going to play. So it's not going to be Matthew Stafford against this Chiefs offense and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And it doesn't even matter what receivers are out there because they just figure it out each and every single week. This defense of the Rams has not really shown up several times this season as well. I think I can't even believe I'm saying this. I weirdly think the line is appropriate. And I kind of think I have to pass on this, where I should be automatically taking the 14.5, but I can't do it.
So if you do the quick math, then you're looking at implied 29-14 as the score here, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's entirely possible. I think the over actually is the play. And I know that sounds crazy, but Kansas City's defense isn't good. They're not stopping anyone. Now they're going to score. And if you want to just take the variance of the Rams and who plays quarterback out of it, then I'm going to say something that I've said earlier in this show as well, Kansas City team total. Because the Kansas City Chiefs are a games team to score 30 against just about anybody. But I think overall the play is probably over, because I think that the Rams, like every other team against the Chiefs, are going to be able to at least do their part. It's just not a good defense by any measure. So in the end, I don't want to get involved with the spread because I think there's backdoor potential with this Chiefs defense.
So Steven, if we kind of look at what Adam's saying here, we have a total of 43. We have a Chiefs team that has scored 44, 41, 30, 44, 27, 30 over the course of the season. We also have a Chiefs team that even against good defenses, right? I mean, like against the Bills, they scored 20 against the Bills, against the early season Chargers, the second game of the season Chargers, when they weren't just completely injury ridden or whatever. They scored 27 against that Charger squad. So, I mean, basically, could they put 31 up against the Rams here? Will they get some short fields because of how pathetic this offense is for the Rams and all that? And then we only need 10 points out of the Rams, but it's like one of those deals where I just don't know if I can count on the Rams to get me 10 or 13 points.
If you're asking me to handicap a game quarterbacked by John Wolford or some apparently real NFL player named Bryce Perkins, I'm not interested. I'm not going to waste your time with it. Whatever, man. Look, whatever. The only thing I'm waiting to see when the props open is how they line Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco, because this has become basically a 2-man committee now instead of a 3-man committee. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was not getting snaps when healthy. Now he's hurt as well. He's banged up. And this is a situation where the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes are running plays based on what alignment the defense is in. If they're going too high shell, like we've talked about all year, then the Chiefs have finally started to show they can run the ball. And Pacheco in back-to-back weeks has more than 5 yards per carry, 92 yards and 107 yards each of the past couple of weeks, 82 yards before that. But the point is he's getting 15 plus carries in back-to-back weeks here. He is the early down back. So I'm very curious to see where he's lined at. If he is, being lined at 12.5 rushing attempts or, something in the 50s still in terms of rushing yards, I'm hitting Pacheco and not looking back in this game.
The other thing I think we can look at from a prop standpoint would be So the Rams, because he was the problem, Darrell Henderson got released because obviously Darrell Henderson was the problem. That's the reason why this offense has not been
I
functioning.
don't know what's going on in that running back room this year, man.
So,
like Cam Akers goes to a friggin' getaway camp to get his head straight, and now Henderson's released. Clearly, the running backs are a mess.
Yeah, so I don't know. The books are pretty smart. So by the time the props get up, it might not be the case. But if they have Cam Akers lined higher than they have Kyron Williams, and you probably don't even know the name. But I think what this means is that the Rams know this season is cooked. The Rams know this is donezo, and they're just going to see what they have in this Williams kid, in this Kyron Williams kid. And so if the books line Kyron Williams at like 20 yards or whatever, 19.5 yards or something, or his carries are only listed at like 6.5 or something, I would take the over on all those things because I think they're this move to me screams like, okay, we're just going to move to this Kyron Williams kid. We're either going to cut or trade Akers in the offseason, and we'll just move to this rookie and we'll see what we have in him. So just something we try to get ahead of the books sometimes. So maybe we can get ahead of the books when it comes to this as well. So
can we get ahead? Can we get ahead for next year too, and just put the seed in everybody's mind to check what the Rams odds are to have the worst record in the league next season when their roster is depleted and they have no draft picks coming in as well?
Yeah, and hardly any money and all the stuff like that. No, seriously, it'll be Rams unders next year for sure, no doubt.